Welcome to the late night show. My name is Dolin.
And my name is Collin.
And we're going to be talking about the subject of biology.
And we'd like to welcome our special guest, Miss Allison Featherstone. Welcome, Miss Allison. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I am doing just jolly.
That's great.
Do you know anything about biology?
Sure.
Fantastic.
We need a yes or a no.
Yes.
Thank you. We would like to start off with a little bit of information about Miss Allison. She got her graduate's degree at BYU, and she has a master's in biology. So, we are here to learn a little bit about her. Let us start. Down, would you like to ask the first question, Miss Featherstone?
I would love to,
Oh,
Collin.
that is so grateful.
Miss Featherstone,
Yes.
what is primary succession?
Primary succession is the colonization of living organisms into an area that was not previously colonized by any living things. An example of this succession after a glacier recedes or after a new island forms from the ocean volcanoes.
Thank you, Miss Featherstone. That was a very educated answer. Would you like to add any comments, Dolin?
Not that you are a very intelligent young woman, and we are honored to have you on this show.
Very well.
Thank you.
Quick question. How did you know so much information about that?
Because I'm smart like that.
That is fantastic.
Collin, would you like to ask the second question?
I would love to, Dolin.
Thank you, Collin.
Miss Featherstone, would you have any idea what a limiting factor is?
Any abiotic or biotic factor that restricts reproduction or distribution of organisms.
That was a very, very educated answer. Thank you. Let's move on to our third question to see if we could stump her.
Miss Featherstone, what is secondary succession?
Secondary succession is the regeneration of the living community after a major disturbance.
Mrs. Featherstone, would you like to answer another question for us?
Yes.
Thank you. Would you like to share with us what a carrying capacity is and how you feel about that?
The max amount of individuals that an environment can hold.
Thank you, Maddie. I think Dolin has the next question for you. Dolin?
Okay. What is genetic diversity?
Genetic diversity, the level of biodiversity, refers to the total number of genetic characteristics in the genetic makeup of species. It is distinguished from genetic variability, which describes the tendency of genetic characteristics to vary.
Thank you, Miss Featherstone. That was very great again. Dolin, do you have any comments on this?
Why, yes I do. I was just about to ask her what year she graduated from high school.
Well, Dolin, I believe earlier she said she graduated in 1983.
Oh, 1983.
That was the year my father was born, if you never knew.
Oh, she's...
Very old.
yes.
Sweet.
Buy Hawaiian Punch and cranberry juice, the light kind.
Welcome back to the late night show with
Dolin, Dolin, and Leonard and Donnery.
and Collin Cyrus. We would like to start off with another question from the magnificent Allison Featherstone. Allison, do you know what biodiversity is?
Biodiversity is the variation of life.
Short and sweet, just the way we like it. Anyway, moving on to the next question, I think Dolin would love to tell.
I would love to tell. Oh, would you like to tell us about ecological succession?
Ecological succession. The change in an ecosystem when one community replaces another, changing the abiotic or anbiotic factors.
Very well said.
Very well indeed. Moving on to our next question very quickly. Mrs. Featherstone, do you know what dispersion is?
Dispersion is the pattern of spacing of a population within an area.
Oh, that was so magnificent, Mrs. Featherstone.
Fabulous.
Loved it all the way.
So much.
Mrs. Featherstone, my last question for you is, what is emigration?
Emigration is when individuals move out of a population. That is just beautiful.
Why, thank you, Mrs. Featherstone. We are glad that you could be on our show. I believe Dolin has 2 more questions for you, and we will wrap up this party.
Hearty. Miss Featherstone, would you like to share 3 examples of limiting factors?
Yes, I would love to.
That is so great. I mean, young women in our world that are just so willing to
So
answer
enthusiastic.
questions about biology, that are just so into it. Just brings a tear to my eye.
So intriguing.
Anyway,
Would you like to answer?
Carry on, Miss Featherstone.
please do.
Okay. The 3 examples of limiting factors are predation, parasites, and hunting.
That is so great that you know all these answers to all these questions. Even I didn't know. If it weren't for my great teacher, Miss Parker, I would not know anything about biology.
Yes, Miss Parker has taught me a great deal about biology.
Thank you to Miss Parker and our special guest, Mrs. Featherstone, and our special cameraman, Grant Keller, along with our special commercial guest, Allison Baggett. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, everybody, and we would like to welcome you back to our show tomorrow night at 4:30 once again.
They see me mowing my front lawn. I know they're all thinking I'm so white and nerdy. Just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Can't you see I'm white and nerdy? Look at me, I'm white and nerdy. I wanna roll with the gangsters.